Subaru Canada joins us today at the Microsoft Executive Spotlight Series. My name is Rishan Bharat. I'm one of the leaders at Microsoft Canada. Ted Kempf, my colleague, is also a leader at Microsoft Worldwide. We're joined by Manoj Tiwari, who's a senior executive at Subaru Canada, responsible for innovation and technology. We've asked Manoj to join us today to talk about Subaru Canada, to talk about their business principles, their growth philosophies, but also their partnership with Microsoft and how Microsoft is enabling them and empowering them to achieve success. So without further ado, Manoj, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us.
Thank you, Rishan, and thank you, Ted. I'm glad to be here with you guys today.
Welcome.
I want to start things off by saying, of course, when we talk about Subaru, popular brand, everyone knows the name, right? So maybe you can start off with sharing with us a little bit about the construct and the organization of Subaru in Canada specifically. And is that unique or differentiated in any way from the global organizations?
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at Subaru, I think Subaru's been there for such a long time. I think they started as an aerospace company way back in the early 1900s. And then they evolved into an automotive company. So a lot of our company, and you look at a lot of our products, the vehicles are very much engineering focused. So, and Canada is no different. Subaru Canada is a little bit different than Subaru of America or our parent company, Subaru Corporation, in that we don't make our own vehicles. Subaru Canada is a distributor and marketer of Subaru vehicles here in Canada. So we sell our vehicles through 95 dealerships across Canada, and we support our dealership with marketing, distribution of the vehicle, as well as the after sales and the service of the vehicles through the dealership.
So it's been a odd 12 months, past 12 months for all of us, right? Doing things we never thought we would, changing business models, reassessing how we interact with one another. Could you talk a little bit, Manoj, about the impact that the pandemic has had on Subaru Canada? What has it meant for the business models that you have and adjustments that you've had to make, particularly in an industry such as yours where customer loyalty is a really big deal, right? It's really, really important. So yeah, what can you share with us on that point?
Yeah, Subaru, if you look at it, it's all about customer loyalty. I think our success has been because of our customers and the fan following that we have for our brand. And as any other company has been impacted by pandemic, the COVID-19 last year, I think Subaru Canada was no different. It was a challenge for us because Subaru Canada, like many other Japanese organizations, was very much was focused on working in a singular office, very close to each other, and overnight we had to move to a very remote-based work environment, which was created a challenge in itself because culturally we were not kind of fit for that kind of work environment. Plus, there were always also the technical challenge. There was a lot of help from our partners, including Microsoft. I think as we moved over quickly, within a week, we were able to kind of engage throughout different multiple vendors and partners to be able to support our business to work remotely. But also, because of the strong culture that we have, I think we were so able to work together well. I think if you look at the communication, that happens between all of the different departments and within our 95 dealerships and to our customer. It's so key to the success of this brand. And I think this is the 8th year that we have actually won the CADA award, which is the Canadian Automobile Dealers Association award here in Canada. And we won this 8th in a row. And one of the things that came up was the strong communication that we had, not just within our department, with our dealers as well. So, and all that happens over the technology. This is the first, I think, probably 13, 14 months, over the last 14 months, we've been talking to our dealers. We've been talking to our customer through the technology, through audio and video channels rather than the face-to-face that we were so much accustomed and used to. So there's been definitely a very pivot. I think we all kind of pivoted to adopting the technology to kind of fit our culture. And I think that, having that culture where communication was such a key aspect of our success and using technology to kind of really be able to embed that, continue to embed that in our strategy as we move forward, leveraging the technology, leveraging the remote work environment, I think was a key to Subaru still being a successful over the last 12 months. If you look at some of our sales and our market share, I think we've been doing so well compared to the other competitors as well. And that goes to the culture of that strong communication, be able to maintain that over using the technology that we had from our partners such as Microsoft, and be able to leverage that all to the success of the brand itself.
Excellent, excellent, yeah.
That's great context, right? You talk about the culture communication there, which is phenomenal, right? And you talk about the just driving that culture in terms of activity with your dealers, with the customers as well. And the Canadian market is very competitive. Well, I guess just like many other markets as well, it's very competitive, right? And I'd love to tap into some of the things that you're doing in addition to what you've described that are unique and differentiate you and Subaru Canada from the competition in the market.
Yeah, I think Canada is very much different. I think the model's pretty much same across the world. When we make our vehicles, we sell it through a network dealership. But if you look at Canada, Canada is such a wide, such a vast country with so many different parts of Canada itself being a mini nation itself. You look at Quebec, you look at BC. I think all that, it's a very different market. What sells in Quebec doesn't and sells in BC doesn't sell in Quebec. It doesn't sell in Ontario. So I think that's been always a challenge for us. But I think that over the last year, I think technology has played really, really well in trying to gel all these different aspects of the different markets that we have within Canada and into a singular market that we can really, really tap into and actually be successful at. And again, going back to the culture and the communication, I think that's been a very, very been a key to the success of this brand. The ability for us to be able to talk to our dealership across Atlantic and be able to talk to the dealership and actually customers in BC while sitting here in Ontario has been key to the success. Like communication that comes with, and the the brand value that this communication brings into to the customer, to the dealership it's paramount. So again, I think what we do differently compared to the other competitors, and every brand is, it's great. Every company is like they're doing their best to kind of provide the value to the customer. For us, we're able to bring in good products, I think very safe and solid products, and match it with a good after-sales service. But I think overall, I think our brand values communication, right, between the dealers, the products, the company itself, the original manufacturer, such as like the Subaru Corporation itself, and customers. So when they buy the product, they know that the dealership is behind that product. They know that the the OE is behind that product, and that communication really gels that confidence in the product. And I think that's been a key success to us. Okay,
so I want to take that idea of brand that you were just sharing with us and talk a little bit about one of my favorite taglines, which is confidence in motion, right? That kind of embodies your brand. And I want to pull that into the next question, which is, how are you leveraging growth drivers and principles within your organization to kind of bring you to the next level as we emerge out of this pandemic and continue that great tagline of confidence in motion within Subaru Canada?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if you look at the confidence in motion, I think we're always moving, we're always innovating. I think that's gets embodied in the brand, and I think that's in our culture as well. If you look at 15 years ago, we used to sell 5,000 to 10,000 vehicles per year. Now we are over almost over just close to 60,000, and our goal is to get to the 70,000 and a 4% market share. So there's a lot that we have a great product, we have a great team, we have a great set of a network of dealerships to sell our products. But moreover, I think if you look at, we're also investing in the right technologies that can support that growth. So as an IT within Subaru Canada, I think we're looking at ways where we can be a partner to our business and be able to invest in the right set of technologies that can fuel that growth, the next set of growth that we have plans for. So if you look at the investment that we have done in Microsoft, and especially our move to the cloud technologies over the past 3 to 4 years, I think has kind of fueled that growth as well, and be able to support the business and with that growth. So as the growth demands more and more from us, I think we're able to now provide that demand, or source that demand back to the business using the investment that we have done in the technology over the last 3 to 4 years. So to your point, I think investing in the right set of technologies, supporting the business with their growth plans, with the kind of innovation that they're looking from a technology or from the IT team, I think that has been the key to be able to continue to support the business as they move forward.
That
Excellent.
confidence in motion tagline is great, right? And it just speaks to the growth trajectory or the growth, the results that you've been on, but also the trajectory that's upcoming as well, right? And we talked about that. We talked a little bit about creating a communication culture and the regular engagement and an element of simplicity in terms of enabling your dealers and ensuring success for your customers, right? I want to talk about one of the big fun parts, which is technology and innovation. Like maybe share with us a little bit about your role also being responsible for technology and innovation and how that's enabling Subaru Canada for these outcomes.
Yeah, so 4 years ago when I started with Subaru, I think we were kind of looking at our growth pattern. We were kind of growing over year, and we were kind of struggling to support that growth. And one of the challenges that we had in play was to kind of continue to invest in on-premise technologies, or look at technologies such as cloud or mobile technologies that can fuel the growth. And we did a pivot. We actually kind of put together probably a transformation, and I don't want to jump on the digital transformation bandwagon because that's such a huge topic in itself. But we did transform. We transformed from an on-prem in basically a small enclosed technology company within the Subaru brand, or the Subaru Canada, to an open and a cloud, adopting the cloud as being the leverage that can take us or to fuel us to the next growth. So that has been the biggest, I think, transformation, a pivot that we as an organization has done over the last 4 years, to move from legacy on-prem system to adopting the leading edge technologies that the cloud has now enabled for companies such as Subaru Canada. Like, we are not huge in terms of investment in technologies, but we are there in terms of being able to leverage technology for a mid-sized company such as ours. So I think that has been a key. That has been a key, especially the support from Microsoft in adopting the Microsoft Cloud as the basis for our dealer portal, for our corporate portal, and as well as when we launched telematics in 2019 here in Canada, be able to build the entire subscription platform right on the Microsoft Azure Cloud. So I think a lot of the growth has been as we adopted the new technologies that has basically fueled the growth, as well as also kind of put us in a path where we can now be able to support the business as we move forward.
Excellent. So I'd like to, again, extend that line of questioning and your response to the next question, which is to ask you to talk a little bit about the journey that you've had with Microsoft as an organization and the role you see Microsoft playing in supporting your strategy and growth objectives as an organization.
Yeah, actually, Microsoft has been a true partner. I think everyone engages with Microsoft in some basis. So like, everyone that runs Windows 10, everyone has laptops, everyone has Teams or the Skype before that. But for us, we wanted to take that relationship beyond just the business productivity tools to be able to look at technologies that can enable the fuel, the growth within the business, such as the cloud technologies, such as basically leveraging the Power App platform, and especially looking at the Dynamics platform, the Microsoft Dynamics 360 platform, as a replacement for our ingrown AS400 ERP. So I think for over the last 3 years, I think Microsoft has been able to kind of help us kind of chart out that path and the transition from going, again, from a legacy on-prem system to basically be a cloud-enabled, leading edge technology, adopting a leading edge technology platform such as the Dynamics 365. Where I also see our path being verging is, I know Microsoft is investing a lot in the automotive industry, sector as well, and being a partner there to be able to adopt and be able to prove that the Microsoft technology really works for in this sector, right? So I think we've now also been able to kind of prove that the Microsoft technology really works for an OE such as Subaru and Subaru Canada. So I think that has also been basically a partnership between Microsoft and Subaru Canada. They've also been been out there to assist and help us when we have fallen short on some of our goals where we had challenges. I think with Microsoft Teams, I think we had an issue where we were kind of running